Guys, I want to start. I'll talk about the game second. Back the week that Louisville played Central Florida, that was coming off the Eastern Kentucky game, I was asked to address the U of L football staff, and it was a very memorable night. And I want to send out our thoughts and prayers for Coach Satterfield, that I've been informed he lost his father yesterday. And it does resonate. You know, you coach basketball, and coaches shaped my life, so I understand about losing parents. And it's ironic today, like today's my mom's birthday. So coaches have lives too. And tonight about this basketball game, as a teacher, when you teach, be it on an exam or be it when you coach and teach into competition and you see the things you teach come back, that's very fulfilling as a coach. And tonight, our players played to their credit the way they're taught, and with stomach flu ravaged throughout this team, mono, backs, you name it. I'm proud of them, but I know they're going to face difficult times throughout their life, and they're going to call upon this journey they're on right now. And now we've got tonight and one morning and a walkthrough to get ready for a team that forces 22 turnovers a game, which leads 358 Division I basketball teams. But I know this, they will get ready.
Just the whole trip. I mean, I know it was a long one and a good one in a lot of ways, and some things you'd like to have done better, but just from coming back and getting home.
We grew.
I mean, yeah.
We grew. Our whole theory today was continue to grow. We grew from, you look at St. Mary's, 2:13 to go. A missed free throw, and they come up with a loose ball and hit a three. If we come up with it, it's a one-possession game at St. Mary's, a team that at point in times in the championship game was going to win the Maui Invitational on a neutral court. Quality play. Gonzaga's Gonzaga. From an atmosphere standpoint, I've never in my life seen anything like student involvement. It was incredible. And then UCLA, we played like Bellarmine, and then we grew and transferred that into a win on Tuesday night. I've been on difficult trips, but never one from Louisville to Phoenix to Oakland to Spokane to Vegas to Atlanta to Louisville over 9 days. And I wouldn't be more proud. But again, we grew. And equally as important, Bellarmine University grew. And the people in this community that value and embrace college basketball appreciated our trip. Just think of this. We're the only team in the history of college basketball to play 1, 2, and 3 the month of November. No one else can say that. And if we grow from it, it'll be worth it.
Well, and then you get to come back home, at least for one game, which is, I'm sure felt good.
It felt great. It felt great. I mean, walk through practices, our locker room. Last night, we had film at 6:30. I don't think we got started almost to 7:30 because we were watching Alabama, Auburn football. We had our snack brought in. That was before film, but it was ours. I wrote Dr. and Miss Lynn a note and thanked them because it means so much to have our home. And then our walkthrough today was great. Our pregame meal was super, and I'm proud of them. They played Bellarmine basketball.
How good is it now to turn right around and get another road test, though, to see kind of
It's college basketball.
grade from what you just did? How did we?
Well, we want to move forward.
Yeah.
We want to measure how are we growing, and start with. I appreciate Coach Huggins for the opportunity. No doubt about it. So. There will not be a pity party tonight, practice tomorrow, on the bus, walk through. No, there's no pity party. We'll embrace the opportunity.
What's the trip like for you? I mean, it's a chance of a lifetime to play against a lot of top flight players and all that.
It was probably the greatest trip I've had in my life. I've never been that far out west for that long, and as a kid you dream about playing like big schools, having big atmospheres, and we played at Gonzaga in one of the greatest atmospheres I've ever seen in my life. We got to play in Las Vegas, which was a great experience. I've never been to Las Vegas, and to play in a place like the T-Mobile Arena, like that's a professional arena, and you play the number 1 team in the country. One day you turn around and play the number 2 team in the country. Another day you play the St. Mary's team where you look up and you see Patty Mills and Matthew Dellavedova's numbers up in the rafters. And then, we got to close out the trip with a great win. So it was a really fun trip. It's always fun with our team and the guys that we have. So ultimately it was great. It was fun, but it was a long trip, and I am very happy to be back.
What was the most eye-opening thing on that trip, and what kind of confidence did the whole thing leave you with at the end?
We can do good things against really good teams. That was probably the most confidence we have. You look at the St. Mary's game, and we fight a team that has a chance to make the tournament this year. You play UCLA, it's a 10-point game with under 4 minutes left. So we played some really good teams up to this point this year. We've had one of the toughest schedules in the country, and we've been able to have success, playing our type of basketball.
How surreal is it that, you're not far removed from making bus trips around a league, and then you find yourself at Gonzaga and in Vegas against UCLA and a lot of the places you've just gone?
It really feels like I've had like 2 separate college careers, because my freshman and sophomore year, it was Division II. You're driving to William Jewell, Rockhurst, bus trip to Kansas City. And then it's funny because it was like interrupted by COVID and the pandemic hits. And then it's like now you're playing against a whole new set of opponents in a bunch of different places. You got to fly here, go here. And then it's like instead of an exhibition against Louisville, now you're playing at Gonzaga and it's a regular season game. Balls up, go play.
I know that you guys all think in team terms, but for you individually, just to get to play against some of the players you went against and see how you could fare well against them, I mean, how much does that give you confidence, inspire you just on a personal level?
It just lets me know that whoever we play against, like, they're human just like us. They're going to make mistakes, and when they make mistakes, we got to capitalize on them.
Thank you.
Quick question, I just kind of along that line. What does it mean to you to see, like, talk about the all-tournament team at the Good Sam Classic, to see your name on that same list with a guy who could very well be the number 1 NBA draft pick?
It's kind of surreal. Like, it's not really something I expected. Like, I didn't even know they had an all-tournament team until we're in the airport and I get a text that says you got named to the all-tournament team. So it was something I wasn't expecting, but it was kind of cool to see.
Most for this trip that you guys just went on, you think?
Just the level of physicality and the level of the competition that we were facing. I mean, we were playing some of the greatest teams, we'll ever see in our lifetime, and it was an incredible experience. And it's one that you can really gain a lot of experience from.
Did you feel like you kind of acclimated to it as the trip went on? You were better able to deal with the different challenges that type of team brought to you?
Definitely. I think we definitely jumped in the water with Purdue, and we hit it hard. We played some of the best teams right away, and you're not always going to be perfect from the jump, so you have to adjust to fit and figure out what you need to do throughout the season. And I think personally for me, I'm a freshman, so I'm learning a lot as we go on, and these games are huge.
Mm-hmm. Funniest thing that happened off the court?
Oh my goodness. There's a lot of different stories. I mean, there's some, honestly, that's tough. I mean, I can't think of anything really funny, but watching some of the reactions on the roller coaster in Vegas was pretty next level. It was hilarious. Yeah. Looking back, seeing some of the faces, I got to say that might be the funniest thing.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel like, just comparing your play tonight versus what you had in the exhibition before you took off on that trip, what are the big differences you see in this team just from that long road experience?
Right. I'm learning a lot through the program. I'm fixing up a lot of the different games, like defensive-wise, offensive-wise. I'm learning how to play throughout the system and learning what I need to do individually to best help the team.
You play a lot of basketball and you played a lot of, you played good competition, high school, Bell Run, but what was your thoughts of your experience when you get up against the Purdue's and the Gonzagas and people like that?
Yeah, there were a few things that came to mind. The first is just that you mentioned I've played a lot of basketball, and it's every kid's dream to be able to go on the trip that we just went on. And I think Dylan attested to it, but at the end of it, we were really tired. But man, like, I haven't even had much time to soak it all in, but from a logistics standpoint, from everybody doing their job, every single coach, GA, director of operations, manager, it was just so smooth. And I think it's really easy on a trip like that for things to go wrong and let it affect your game, and there was never even an opportunity for that because everything was just so well planned out and executed to a T, and that's how we pride ourselves on the court too. But playing teams like that was unforgettable, and I think it really helped us grow. Coach talked about growing, and one thing that we really emphasized is just not letting our offense affect our defense and priding ourselves on getting stops every single possession at a time. Because every possession is a new opportunity to do our job, and I think game by game we're getting better at every single person starring in their role and doing what they do best.
Does this team derive some pride just from having played that tough a stretch? I mean, not a lot of teams will do that. Some are just doing it for a check. You guys go out, you're trying, by the end you're competing with UCLA and stuff like that.
100%. We play every game to win. Obviously, we didn't win against, I guess, 5 of the teams that we played. But I really do feel that we got better every single time, and that's more than you can ask for. UCLA was the toughest we've played, I think, this year, and we're building on that every single game. But it gives us a lot of confidence. Dylan was amazing in those games, unstoppable, honestly, at some points. And a lot of people off the bench stepped up and had success against Central Michigan when we were down a few guys. It gives us all the confidence in the world knowing that we aren't only getting to play these games, but we're competing in these games as well.
How eager are you to see what this team looks and how it performs, Tuesday night?
I'm very excited, and we haven't focused directly on West Virginia in the past few weeks, but we've implemented a few things in practice to prepare for their style of play, and I'm really eager to play them because we've grown every single game, and if we continue that trend, then I think we have a really good opportunity ahead of us. EKU played them really close. We're more familiar with EKU than West Virginia, obviously. But they get up in you. Their style of play is to force you over, to pick up the pace. And I think that we have a lot of poised, experienced players and a lot of guys that do a really good job of not only handling pressure, but attacking it and making them pay for it.